Hello and welcome to Whisky.com, where fine spirits meet. My name is Ben Luening, I'm the master taster of Whisky.com. This is Horst Luening, the senior taster of Whisky.com, and welcome to the awards October 2024 for Whisky.com. And it has been a good month.
Yeah, very good whiskies in this month.
Yeah, we had 9 videos. And now we have 6 of them who get at least an honorable mention, let's say it that way. So, and the others were really hard contenders to also get at least an honorable mention. So
I think it's close to the holiday season, and therefore we have the distilleries are pouring out tons of very good whiskey.
Yeah, tendencies are better whiskies in colder month.
Yeah, and so the summer was quite rare sometimes, so we didn't have to fill all places. So now it's becoming better and better. Yeah,
now in summer, most of them would have gotten one. This year, they actually didn't get a place on the podium. From Tullibardine the Murray, these has been exclusive bottlings for 30 years of Whisky.de. One is a Moscatel and the other is a triple wood cask finish. They were really good, but we actually tried the sample, so it would have been giving out in metal to ourselves. So no, we don't do that. It's just an honorable mention. They're not getting a medal. Yeah.
And the price is 60 euros.
Yeah, they're really good for that price because they are vintage whiskies from 2007 to 2023, and from the other one is from 2008 to 2023. So they are, really good whiskies. Can highly recommend them. Have a look at Whisky.com. Stocks are limited, so they might hold a few months more.
Probably they might cost 1 or 2 euros more, depending on the country you live in, due to the alcohol taxes. And here is the honorable mention from my range of whiskey I had, and this is the Waterford whiskey called Cuvée Coffee. And the Waterford is an Irish whiskey, Irish single malt whiskey. And the distillery is located in the southeast of Ireland, and they have a glass cork or a glass stopper, and they have a specialty in their distillery that they produce pure batches from farms. So you have one supplier of barley or one field, one area of barley from a farmer, and so you have the soil, the terroir, which counts. And this one is the contrary. They mixed everything they had from every farmer in the area together. So this is contrary to their philosophy.
I think they do have the mix on the back. So it's not just the rest of all, but they have
24 of those origins.
Oh, okay.
So 24. So it might be like there have been from some blenders the 100 malts, and so this might be such a special thing, but it turns out very good. So honorable mention for this one. And then there is the bronze award, and this goes to the Hearach. This is a whiskey from the Isle of Harris, the Outer Hebrides, and
this should have been mine.
This should have been yours, but I had been on Harris as well in 2005, but there wasn't that distillery there. No, there was any distillery then, despite of the illegal ones. And so the Hearach is a new distillery, and this is the second bottling from them, and it's from Oloroso sherry cask, and it's wonderfully made, extremely well made for a second bottling, first fill Oloroso cask. And you said it's more than 3 years in a day?
Yes, they didn't start with whiskies with 3 years in a day. I'm not quite sure. If you want to have the exact numbers, have to have a look at the distillery video. But I think I can remember 2018 or something, they started with their gin, a year later with their whiskey. So they should be anything between 3 years and 5 years in this bottle. So it's more than just, we have the stock legally, we can call it whiskey, give it out. So
typical with new distilleries, you have the earliest whiskey available for their first bottling, and this is typically, say, mediocre. And then the second one, that will be really, really good, and then it depends how the distillery develops, how good their cask is, how their procedures are constantly improving if the whiskey goes up or down.
Yeah.
So this might be the best they have, or the start of getting better?
I think they will get better because they really have their thing going on. Their gin is highly valued. It's a good gin what they do have, so they could actually just survive on their gin. But now they got the whiskey and it's working for them. So I guess they will improve in the future. I'm really excited about what kind of distillery they're gonna be with a lot of special bottlings, a lot of more of core range. And how their core range is going to develop. They're going to bring an age statement or not? So.
I think they start slowly, not having three different bottlings immediately in parallel available, but they start.
What I really like is a social distillery, so a lot of just regional people, and the regional people get trained to make the whiskey, and regionality is a big thing for them, and they're building another warehouse, so I guess...
should the workforce commute with the ferry out to the Outer Hebrides? No, not really.
Yeah, on Isla people do. Speaking of Isla, second place is a rare contestant. You rarely have the Lagavulins here because they just don't have that many bottlings. When they bring something out, it's really good. So we do have a Lagavulin 11-year-old Caribbean rum cask. And it's a joint venture with Nick Offerman, the American, I think, filmmaker. Is it an actor as well? I think he's an actor as well. And so he's a bit of adventure and how the Caribbean rum cask got to Isla, and this is the product. And yeah, it's a good whiskey. It's really a good whiskey.
Yeah, and this one is 46% ABV. Typically, the regular Lagavulins have 43, and the annual or the special releases have cask strength. So this one has a little
unusual.
A little bit. And the 8-year-old, does it have 48%? Yeah, I don't know. But this is a little bit more special because it has 46%, but how to imagine, it costs a little bit more, so it's close to 100.
Yeah, I think it's already the second Nick Offerman, or is it the third? I'm not quite sure.
Oh.
So, yeah, they already worked together with Nick Offerman quite a lot.
I missed that.
Yeah, I think I did the first one as well.
Oh.
Yeah, I really liked it.
First one, Gold Award goes to a Royal Whiskey.
A Royal Whiskey.
Royal Brackla.
I've been to Royal Brackla why didn't you get that?
22 years old, because I had been in the 1995, I had been to Royal Brackla, and Royal Brackla got its Royal Variant from King Edward the Fourth. Edward the Fourth.
William the Fourth.
William. William. And a few years later, the Royal Award was renewed by Queen Victoria. And the specialty here is this whiskey is from the series from 1812. And there had been a ban on Highland whiskies then. And
I've actually had the introduction at that distillery. I realized that it's not a ban. They legally produced whiskey in 1812 in the Highlands.
Because they were so close to the shore.
No, they paid higher taxes.
Okay.
And I think it was a captain or something of the East India Expeditionary Corps or something, and he went back, made the distillery, and he was the one who actually got the 1822 Excise Act or something. What was that?
23, yeah.
23 Excise Act. He got that rolling because he was actually paying the taxes that nobody around him paid, and he said, I can't sell my whiskey at all around here because it's far too expensive. And his whiskey was the only legal Highland malt that actually got supplied to the king. That's why he got the Royal Warrant.
The king said when he came to Edinburgh, he said, I would like to have the real stuff and not the not so good whiskey from the lowlands, which was legal then. And he said he wanted to have, and therefore I thought he was supplied with illegal whiskey. No.
Oh yeah, he probably got illegal whiskey as well, but that was a legal Highland malt in 1812, something like that. But it was much too expensive because he was the only one who paid the taxes, and he said he couldn't sell his stuff,
and therefore
in 100 miles radius of his distillery.
And therefore he was rewarded by Royal Warrant. So
yeah,
one hand helps the other.
He was the only whiskey that was legal in the Highlands. So in the Highland stuff was
so
the
he
good
was
stuff.
the only supplier to the crown, and he got the forever around for being the only supplier. Very good. So this is the exceptional cask series, and this 5 casks finished in Tokaja cask. Tokaja is a wine, a sweet wine, a dessert wine from Hungary. And those casks deliver a lot. So there's special oak, there's this special sweet wine, and this forms the whiskey in this final maturation. And it's really complex, full, and very close to an ideal whiskey for me. Yeah. Unfortunately, 318 euros
well, that is
here
quite
in Central Europe. And if you're living in a country where we supply to, might be a few euros more due to higher alcohol taxes and, delivery charges.
Speaking of alcohol taxes.
Very good.
Yeah. So, yeah, that was our awards. The bronze and the silver award might be available. I guess they are still available for the Mick Offerman edition. No, probably not. This one, I think, will be available. Careful, they are limited. I'm not quite sure if this is limited edition, but they are not in high supply, let's say it that way. Yeah. This one, I think it's a standard, isn't it? Or is it?
No, this exceptional cask is a series of different casks.
Oh, also limited. All of them limited then.
All of them limited, yeah. So whenever you see
in short supply, let's say it that way.
And whenever you see this video, probably next year, it might be gone.
Yeah, so have a look at Whisky.com. Maybe you find the bottles still there. And yeah, our gold award is the Royal Brackla 22 years old. And thank you very much for watching, and see you next time.